So
What?
here we are in Imperial Wharf.
We're not in Imperial Wharf.
Keep it that way.
yeah.
You smart guy.
Also, you're about to give out your drink.
No, that was perfect. Oh, did you do that on purpose?
Oh, no.
Oh, you actually thought we were in it. Oh, I thought you were being cool.
Are we not in Imperial Wharf?
No. Oh, yes, we are. That's where we are.
No, we're in Vauxhall.
I have this
Are
one
we?
guy from the US who keeps sending me mail.
Oh, really?
Hopefully we can throw him off with this podcast.
Yes.
You're sending it to the wrong person.
What do you mean? He keeps sending you mail?
Yeah.
No.
Snail mail, not even email.
Really?
Snail.
Does he have nice handwriting?
Yeah. But, yeah. I used to read them, but it's become quite
What? The same.
a lot.
Quite psycho, probably.
No, I don't want to say that, but...
You know what? You're so actually, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go. Welcome to Pride Parts Podcast. This is where we read the most intimate and sordid details of our lives. Joined us today, Francis. Get excited, man. Mr. Caspar Lee.
Yeah!
That was
Give it up for Caspar Lee.
Come on, there are people in here.
Yeah,
Come on. Live studio audience, I usually get really nervous, but we're in my house, so I should be fine.
So,
in your domain.
so that means you don't get that nervous because we're in your house, right?
It helps.
Because also, do you know, the funny thing about your house, Caspar, is that we won't say where it is, but we're pretty high up looking over a river in Vauxhall.
we won't tell you which river because that would give it away.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not the Thames. Anyway, we are, dude, and I was going to say this because walking up to your, room, it's like, it takes freaking ages to get in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Do you never leave? Do you have...
I try not to.
Yeah.
We have a Waitrose really... Oh, no, I'm kidding. It's fine. I actually want to meet more people, so if you guys want, let's do a meetup. And...
I actually want to meet
Well,
more
here we are, so we answered the call.
So, yeah, no, I try not to go too far because, London... I'm from a small town in South Africa where the traffic isn't like this. And
Which town?
It's called Knysna. You won't know what it is. I say it's
I've
near
heard of
Cape Town.
Knysna,
You've heard?
Yeah.
You've been to South Africa?
My family are... Southern African.
This is
from Mauritius.
Really?
So, yeah, my dad grew up in Cape Town.
That's awesome.
But I suppose that's where we want to start, right? Is that you grew up in South Africa and you're now, and we can say this, you're like one of the world's biggest YouTubers, influencers you are in the entire world. And I mean, starting as a guy from South Africa, sure, are you not the most famous South African out there? You and
You're the most famous South African.
No.
Yeah,
you guys, I'm not going to start listing them, but come on. Yeah. Trevor Noah, Nelson Mandela, Skulk Burger,
Nelson Mandela.
Charlize Theron.
But you're the most famous one that Jamie's
Jacob
ever heard
Zuma.
of.
No, I've heard of Pretorius.
Let's not go into that.
Yeah,
that's why I've heard of him though.
So what, you think he's more famous than Pretorius?
Obviously not.
But Cass, this is funny. So you then, and from the beginning, right? You're huge on YouTube. You do videos every single week, and you've been doing that for what, 6 years? Something
like 8. I actually started 2 years before anyone watched, which is...
What was your first video?
Okay.
Is it still listed? Or?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's it was me in a bathtub at 16 deciding whether or not it was more hardcore to bath than shower. That was content. You have to understand.
Yes.
I came from a place where there's no one tells you what you can and can't do when it comes to entertainment.
Yeah.
And I just thought that would be interesting because I don't know why, but yeah.
But obviously it worked.
No, it didn't. That was that actually I garnered a base of people who probably shouldn't be watching people, and I don't want to go into it too much. But I don't think they appreciated it. I think they just found it really weird, and that's why they watched it.
But it's so interesting because you were, and I think I can say this because I think you told me, or I saw it somewhere, that you were one of these guys who you had a stutter, isn't that right? You were like a nerd,
a very nervous guy. I have Tourette's syndrome, so at school it was quite I was quite a nervous guy, meeting new people because I would always do a head shake or click my thumbs.
So these videos were a place for you to kind of just get out there and be like, hey, this is where you can actually express what you be creative. Like Ed Sheeran used to, or still says, the reason why he loved music so much is because he could then write music and show off.
I guess you're focused and it's kind of...
So I think I took to YouTube because that was the place I would be in my room watching YouTube videos on my own and no one was around me, so you kind of relax a little bit more and you don't have as many tics. And then so from watching a lot of YouTube, I guess I started watching YouTube when I was 14, 15.
What YouTube videos were on YouTube at that point?
A lot of
There was a lot of stuff, actually.
There wasn't a lot of stuff. What were you watching then, Francis?
All sorts of stuff.
Maybe when you were 14, there wasn't anything. But when I was 14, there was stuff.
Because you were 14 100 years ago.
Yeah, how old do you think I am? Jesus.
But it's true. So you were just sitting there watching YouTube videos, and that's how you got your inspiration to go and do it.
Yeah, and I thought it would be easy as that. Like I think a lot of people kind of see it as something that seems like an easy way out. Especially now that they know there's money involved, they think, oh, why am I slaving away doing what I do when I could just quickly make some videos?
Be a YouTuber.
Yeah. Whereas it's a lot more difficult now, and one of like the hardest things to get into. Like I do have a very like lucky, and I'm very like fortunate. It's a lot easier than most things, but I think now to start now and get into it, you probably have to work 1,000 times harder than I did. So.
I'm not kidding you guys. Okay, I started YouTube like 4 years ago, right? And I thought, I'm on a big show on the TV. A lot of people are going to come to my channel.
Just for you.
Just because they...
I don't even have to do my videos about anything in particular. Just as long as I'm in them, that's what you
just smile at the camera for 10 minutes.
I was like, surely they're going to
I'm going to talk about hummus for half an hour, and people are going to love it because it's me.
Is that what you did at first?
Generally what I thought. Like, Caspar, honestly, I generally thought this, dude. I generally thought...
I'm going to sit in the bath and talk about whether bathing is better than showering.
You see, I think that's just being, I don't know.
But that's cool, I think. But Jamie, maybe you should do that. Maybe.
Well, no, this is the thing. So I thought that I was like so sure. I was so.
Sorry, I just thought that for me it didn't work because I was a 16-year-old living in South Africa who no one cared about. But if you start doing that now, I think it will hit the press and people will be very concerned for your well-being.
Who is this freak? Like, who is this freak doing this?
Yeah, that's great. It's a good idea.
No, but it's true. I was literally like, if they're going to come rushing, YouTube's probably going to be shut down. There's going to be too many subscribers. They don't want to do. 4 years later.
It's going to shut down.
Yeah. They weren't going to handle it. Yeah. 4 years later, I'm still on like 70,000.
But why do you think that is? Do you think they've censored you? Do you think that's what it is? Do you think they've actually censored you so that people actually who really want to find you just can't find you? That's what it is, isn't it?
That's what it is. And also,
that's a good excuse.
And you'll know this more, Caspar, in terms of like, so revenue, right? I did 1 million views.
Yeah.
1 million views in a month, okay? Or over 1 million views.
Bragging.
And I was... yeah.
Well,
1 million views in a month is pretty good.
Yeah, but I vlogged every day.
Yeah. Still really good. I mean, I remember after 2 years, I had 40,000 views, and I was pretty much like...
You were psyched.
I'd show everyone at school. Had no friends, but could show them.
But still, to make yourself cooler, you showed them your videos.
It didn't help. Sometimes doing less helps more.
This is true. So basically I did 1 million views in a month, and I was like, I'm going to go and buy a house now. This is it. I'm going to go and do it. I'm rich. I earned $700. Like the amount of
That's actually pretty good these days for CPM. That's not bad.
Okay, that's it. And we're never going to ask you about your cash, anything like that. But in terms of like revenue, this is what people think when they turn into YouTube. They're going to be rich like that, and it's just not the case, is it?
No, I mean. And also, it wouldn't come from necessarily just YouTube itself. There's so many more things you'd have to probably do if you want to really, I guess. I mean, if you're getting hundreds of millions of views, or even tens of millions, obviously 700 is still quite cool to do in a month. Like, from making YouTube videos, that's nice. But to really make a lot of money, you're going to have to like expand just beyond your videos, unless your videos are absolutely killing it.
Caspar, I did a video every single day. I thought I was going to go mad. I was just like, every morning, what the
But here's an example of how that worked. I started watching your videos, and then I started eating more candy kittens.
Oh, so there we go.
It's not always about how many are watching, it's about who's watching sometimes.
One of the funniest videos I've actually seen is one of yours, Francis, that you have on YouTube. Yeah,
Which one?
The one where where he basically,
I've got a few videos. I think I've got like 10 videos, 11 videos.
We had he took everyone around Notting Hill, and it was
the screening.
No, he actually took people said, "I'm going to show you my favourite place. It's in Notting Hill," and he gestured to the camera, okay, come on, let's go and search on it. It's one of the funniest things I've seen.
I'm going to see it, but you should actually start screening your videos as well at the. I was thinking that would be cool. Well, you said Notting Hill, so the electric cinema. So
that's a good idea.
I think you get a fan base.
Screen my YouTube videos. Yeah, maybe
have a premiere.
Well, actually, I really want to get back into it, but I've been busy launching my cider.
Yeah, that's good too.
Do you like cider?
I love cider.
I'll send you some cider.
That'd be awesome.
I'll send you some cider.
But Caspar, going back to YouTube, I suppose, do you post a video every single week, and you have to. So wait, firstly, how many videos have you done in total on your channel?
I don't know actually. I haven't kept up.
It's over. It must be over 1,000.
In total, maybe not actually. I guess 52 times. Yeah, that's not trying to
let's
do
not
math.
even-
You've done one every month.
I've done every week, and then obviously I've done lots of vlogs as well on other channels, and then the videos before. I probably had hundreds of videos on those other channels that no one's seen. So
be over. I'm sure.
yeah,
over 1,000.
yeah. But compared to some people, it looks like I don't do anything with my time. But there's a lot of other stuff I'm not doing on YouTube.
But you're very business minded. But that's the funny thing is that do you ever feel like the pressure to upload something different and fun and entertaining every single week?
Yeah. I think even actually the fact that it is kind of once a week makes it a little bit. I'm not gonna say more. It's less work, but more pressure than if I uploaded every day. Because if you upload every day, you probably have a format, like you talk about something in particular, or you show your life, and that becomes your content. But if it's once a week, you kind of, you've had enough time to make something interesting.
When do you film it? Like the day before or on the day?
No, usually depending on people's schedules, because my channel isn't really just about me anymore. I realized very early on that it was easier to get people to be interested in other people than it was to get them interested in me. So
exactly what I think. I'm not narcissist in any way. Okay? It was about the other people. It was never about
It was about the hummus. Let's be honest.
So I guess my secret sauce was always like finding the right people to film videos with, and then eventually like ending up somehow getting some massive singers and actors eventually working on my channel as well. Like I had Ed Sheeran in my bathroom last year, and for me that was like a real pinch me moment.
He found him in his bathroom.
Yeah, it was
Ed Sheeran, what are you doing?
It had nothing to do with the YouTube video we filmed.
Here?
He was just there, and then I made him make a video. But that's kind of an example of how I was able, I think, to keep growing. But
what you've done so well is that you play this very funny thing on YouTube where you basically go and meet different famous actors and pretend you're best friends with them.
Yeah.
And it's so good. I mean, you've done Chris Pratt, you've done Robbie Williams, you've done Ed Sheeran. I mean, the list is like endless, right?
Well, yeah, it's been amazing, and it's something I'm so good at pretending I have friends who aren't really my friends, because that's what I had to do in school. So it just was a natural progression.
Same as Francis.
Yeah.
But again, it's just whenever I meet, I really struggle though to do that stuff, and it's like every time I have to like psych myself up for it, because I overthink things a bit too much sometimes. But I'm starting to get better at like mindfulness and stuff. And have you heard of a book called Happy by Darren Brown?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah,
No, but I
read it.
Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he paid me to say it on your podcast or anything.
He's paying us, and I asked Caspar to say it.
Yeah, but no, definitely read that, and that kind of thing really helped me realize recently how little we actually think about one another, and how little, which is a good thing. You might think people thinking about you a lot, not much, would be a bad thing. But if they're not thinking about you much, it gives you like the opportunity to do kind of anything, and no one really cares.
Dude, but this is so true. And we actually, and going into this, because I suppose when I experienced, and we actually haven't even spoken this, when I experienced my first like any sort of fame, I suppose, whatever experiencing, I became incredibly hedonistic. I became selfish, unempathetic. I was just caring about myself. And then it was almost like I thought, what are you about to say? You're just grinning at me.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Vain, narcissistic.
Really?
All of it, yeah.
I can't imagine that. I think in a funny way, probably not. I can't. Were you really lost in it, or were you doing it as a joke?
But there was a period of time where I think you were a bit lost.
I think not towards my friends, I suppose, but towards maybe my family and things like where my mum would organise like dinners, and I would just never turn up because I wanted to party more and things like this. And over the past, I suppose, like 3 years, I suddenly was like, oh, what have I? It was almost like
you're like, God, I've changed.
I looked in the mirror and I went, who am I? I literally did that, and I was like, this is the moment where I was like, I don't understand what I've been striving towards, and and what is so important is that being empathetic towards others and actually caring about other people is so important. And I saw you do this amazing thing where you paid for that girl to get a scholarship in South Africa, which is insane, right?
I mean, it was, for me, it was just, I was lucky enough to get a scholarship growing up too, so it was hopefully just...
For making videos?
Imagine. Believe it or not, I actually had like an academic scholarship. Well, I can't believe it, right? I must have just somehow had the answers to the test or something. I don't know how I did it, because it was one test we had to do.
You cheated.
No,
as you go in a roundabout way, you
sorry,
cheated.
Okil, but hopefully it's all sorted because I've now paid, hopefully helped someone else. But I somehow I got an academic scholarship that helped me. Without that school, I wouldn't be able to do. Even they were so good that they even helped me get like my first microphone. I made a school video for them that's actually still on YouTube if you type in Okil School, and it was was like this video, and if I did that, they bought me a microphone. So that microphones, which we're seeing now, I think are the most like important part of entertainment. There's no point of having a great camera if you don't have a great mic. So that really helped me.
That's what I've been doing wrong all these years. It's my microphone.
Because think about this. When was the last time?
This shit is it. I bought the cheapest one.
And then you have these sitting around, or are these yours?
These are ours, but these are Pete's, and these are Stu's and Cat. They're not ours.
But you need to use, because if you think about how often people are watching YouTube on their phones, I mean, the screens are quite small, and then also on top of that,
sound makes such a difference.
Exactly. On top of that, like they're usually in bed, not even looking. They're just listening.
That is so wise.
Yeah.
I feel like that is it's all about the sound. Okay, and then moving on with all of like your YouTube buddies, right? Because you're now part of the gang. Would you the buttercream?
Yeah.
Buttercream.
We don't officially call ourselves. Okay, the problem. Yeah. So that's what we kind of. We don't ever go buttercream gang time.
Yeah,
well, you should.
Francis outside was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I made the buttercream."
The head buttercream. Basically,
Are you the head buttercream?
I'm one of. I think it's me, Connor, and who else was on that bike ride? I think Joe.
I think you're probably the head.
Stop it.
I think you're the head.
I'm the glue that always like these guys. Let's all hang out. Why are we never hang out anymore? But we're basically a group chat, and
you're just the needy one.
Exactly. I actually have friends now. Hopefully, it's not just because I have subscribers on YouTube that you hang out with me, right, Mikey?
Yeah, Mikey, you dick. Yeah, we know the true you. So wait, so you
got a group chat?
Yeah, so we were cycling around London on a summer's day, and we're like, we're the Buttercream Gang, because there's this really shitty movie called The Buttercream Gang that I've never actually watched. I don't know if it's shit. Why am I saying it's shit? I just saw the IMDb score. Which is not, it shouldn't tell you whether a movie's not good or not. It's good or not,
and
right?
true. And the subscribers on my YouTube channel doesn't define if my channel's bad or not.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
People are missing out. You're a hidden gem.
No, I really like it. I really like it.
Yeah, but you're not going to say shit, Caspar.
No, I actually, you're someone I genuinely, I check out, because I'm more concerned than anything else.
Yes.
Mine's an even more hidden gem.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch.
I think I've got like 3,000 followers or something.
Dude, that makes the subscribers feel a lot more special.
Yeah, well they are. They're my friends.
That's awesome.
So you're saying, Francis, if you had a wish for your YouTube channel, you would want, instead of having 300,000 subscribers, you would want 3,000.
Quality over quantity.
That's what it's all about. That's
quality
the thing.
over quantity.
You have a connection that if it grew too much, it wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to that thing with the buttercream. Yeah. So you guys were riding around,
cycling around, and we just, then we started a group chat, and like eventually everyone in that group chat became YouTubers. And in the beginning, it was just me and Joe. And then
I'll say it for you. Basically, what happened, Francis, is that Joe, and you're being so coy about it. Joe and Caspar were the big YouTubers, right? And then their other friends were literally like, "Hey, I'm going to jump on this little bandwagon of gold."
To be fair,
here we go.
To be fair, like we forced a lot of them into it because
they had bribes on you. They were black
because of the stuff we spoke about in the Buttercream Gang. But we're like, we have to bring you down too one day. So no, it was more a case of when you make videos, especially like you make them every week, who do you want to make videos with? If you don't have, say, like maybe that week you don't have someone cool to make a video with, so you're like, who am I going to make it with? Your friends.
Yeah.
And so they started making videos, and people asked them to do it. And Connor at the time was he was more just a musician, and now he's become, I think, like a musician who's also massively popular online rather than just traditionally.
Dude, his videos kill it.
Yeah.
He gets like, I saw one video he did a video, he does these amazing like mashups, right? Where so he'll sing with whoever, like Pixie Lott.
Yeah.
It got like 129 million views.
Insane.
That is insane.
Yeah. That is insane.
Yeah, you're just thinking, what am I going to do?
No. I was just thinking.
But you don't want that kind of viewership because you can't interact.
I was thinking, what I watch on YouTube is how-to videos. Like that's basically what I watch. So I learned how to do like different things or whatever. But
what did you learn?
What have I learned? Well, I learned like all sorts of stuff, like calligraphy. I learned
really,
yeah, and I do jiu-jitsu, so I learned. I mean, there's a lot of good jiu-jitsu videos on YouTube.
It's quite a niche. That's what you do. I went to a wedding on the weekend. I learned how to do a Windsor knot. And I was in
You didn't know how to do Windsor knot?
No, I didn't know how to do a Windsor knot, but I learnt it on the way. And as I got to the wedding...
On YouTube?
On YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's the best for like learning how to do stuff.
But I suppose also the other thing is...
It's the best, sorry to interrupt you, but it's the best until, by the way, if anyone's listening and you do this and you have a how-to video and you spend the first 3 minutes like introing the whole thing, like please
annoying.
just cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do they do that?
I do.
Also,
It's the most annoying thing. Just tell me how to work my camera.
Also-
I've got a Canon G7. Tell me how to fucking work it. Don't start talking about how great a camera it is. I just want to see how you zoom and change the settings.
but it's also for really obscure, like old things. Like so, like my boiler, which is like really old boiler. It broke down, and I was like, "Fuck! How do I gonna call the boiler people to get it?" So I was like, "I wonder if there's a like video on this boiler." So I looked on YouTube, and there was a guy fixing the boiler, and I fixed the boiler using this video that this random guy had made which had like 30 views. It was actually brilliant.
Yeah.
But also the other thing is that I want to know and touch on: is it competitive within the YouTube industry?
Within the Buttercream gang.
Is it competitive within the industry because, and be as honest as you possibly can, just between other people? Do other people kind of be negative towards things just because they're jealous, or do they tell you how to do it? How does it work?
Well, I don't really think too much outside.
Because it used to start, YouTube was this platform, right, that started as everyone joining together in order to make videos.
YouTube, yeah.
I think within us, it's not, because if anyone does really well, that's going to help everyone. That's just, unless they get a massive head like you did. And
yeah, I got loads of head because I started YouTube.
And then
bragging about 70,000.
then maybe they stop making videos with us. But like, if one of us does really well, that hopefully will spread out. And in regards to in general, I wouldn't say so. Like, everyone's so up and down as well. Like, if someone's doing well one year, that's great. Like, good. It's not this stuff that you learn quite quickly when you kind of achieve your goals. That's not actually the stuff that makes you happy. And the worst thing, and something that would really bring you down, is if you really had resentment for people doing well. That would, because it's just not. I think kind of as I grow a little bit older, I've started to really realize how like doesn't matter what anyone else around me is doing, it doesn't affect me. Like, it's just my perception of that.
Yeah, I'm a lot older than you.
I'm
a lot older than you. I'm still not thinking that. I'm still fiercely bitter.
But then the thing is, you think like they might be doing really well, and they might be killing us, but that's like, who knows? As soon as they're at that stage where they're doing really well, they want something. They want probably the numbers to be even better. So they're looking at people who are doing something else. And if you're the top YouTuber in the world, you're probably looking.
There's always someone better.
At someone else doing something. So it's kind of.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, you want to be the supreme leader of everything.
Of everyone.
Exactly.
Right, Caspar, what we always do in our podcast is Francis gives us a very weird question. We try and answer it, then he tells us in part 2. So Francis, please give us the question of the week.
Okay.
And he always...
Did you come up with this?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
That's why it's written down and not in his head.
What does a cockroach do if it touches a human?
All right. Come on, guest. You have to guess.
I have to answer it now. Is it part 2 already, or are we waiting?
No. We give the answer then, and then the suspense keeps all the audience.
To see if we're right or wrong.
And the suspense gets all the audience because they're like, "Oh my god, I want to know if they're right."
So this is your cliffhanger about a cockroach.
Somewhat of a cliffhanger.
We're basically like one of those YouTubers who they want to find out just the answer, but we fluff around it a lot.
Okay, cool. So what happens to a cockroach when it touches the human body?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, does it? It curls up?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or loses something? I don't think it loses something.
It loses its cape. It loses its power of persuasion.
It loses its power of persuasion.
It suddenly becomes invisible.
Well, it doesn't die, right? Because
it doesn't die.
It's hard to kill a cockroach.
I reckon, okay, I'll go for it. I reckon when a human touches a cockroach, it sheds a whole lot of its skin.
Maybe it shits like a tiny molecule.
Oh yeah,
a molecule.
I quite like that.
A tiny molecule of shit.
Maybe.
Okay, so Caspar Lee is saying that the cockroach shits, and I'm saying that it sheds a really important layer of its skin. Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of Private Parts. We are still joined with Caspar Lee. Yeah.
Welcome back.
The #1 podcast.
Were you saying?
I thought you were about to say the #1 YouTube channel.
I mean, dude, I wouldn't be here with you right now if I was, guys. I would have grown Jamie's head.
No. But speaking of YouTubers, and I'm going to tell you who. Do you know who? And this, you don't have to comment. But do you know who really annoys me on YouTube?
Yeah.
Jake Paul, man.
Ooh.
I know this is rogue, but those guys, and that when we're talking about like YouTubers being.
Jake and Logan Paul, they're not funny.
They're not funny. Okay, here we go. Tell us why they are.
No, I wouldn't. I'd say they've got a particular group of people who love them. So like they're doing something right with that group of people.
We don't want to get the haters on us.
Don't get me wrong. What they've achieved and what they've done is unbelievable. And I think that any niche you can get hold of, or any kind of format that you do and you do well, I think that's great. However, I'm not saying I'm actually outstanding. And actually, bravo to them for what they've done. It's just more that. I'm just not sure.
I guess it definitely works, right? For them, they've got that.
But then it's also, we have to be careful if they're doing the right, or like if the content they're making hurting other people and so on. So that's
what I mean, right? That's what I mean, right? So some of the content I just don't think is, and what's happening is these kids are growing up to kind of watch it, and I'm not sure it's the right thing to do.
Like what? Anyway. Give me an example.
Well, I don't know. It's just they're young kids who are driving around fast cars and just making a lot of noise, and I'm not sure that's the right thing.
It sounds like Jackass, which I loved growing up, but now actually I probably still like. It's probably a little bit more interesting, but I think it's just that people, especially when you're younger, you want to watch someone who's kind of the anti. You know, you don't want to watch
Antichrist.
You don't want to watch the people your parents also think are really good.
The anti-heroes.
I tell you what, this is interesting. Out of the Buttercream gang, if you were in Hunger Games. Who would be the first to die and the person to win? Who do you think? Who's like the I reckon Joe Sugg would survive till the end.
He would do really well. I think that it's a toss-up between Mikey and Jack.
Who would die?
Yeah, but then Jack, he went to a jungle, but he didn't survive very long.
He didn't. Oh, my poor guy. We spoke about that with him. Yeah. He's actually. Do you know what the great thing about him is? Everyone spoke about it, but he holds us high, and he actually now is at the point where he's like, he makes a joke of it.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, it was a tough. I was with Connor when that was happening in America, and like just to see how it affected Connor, it was a horrible time. We heard about it just before it went out, and we just knew what was coming. It was kind of scary. We were waiting to see. But when was the first tweet going to come? And they saw like one rogue tweet, like, now here it goes, and then it just explodes. But again, people care for a bit and then they stop.
Well, I had that with my buddy Spencer, who got kicked out as well for steroids. And honestly, the poor guy, and he was saying himself, the poor guy, everyone's like, why'd you do it? And honestly, he was like, just because I wanted to look good in the jungle. There's no like maliciousness behind it. There's nothing, same as Jack, no maliciousness at all. Just a simple mistake that kind of gets propelled forward into different things. But moving forward from that, Caspar,
I thought it was for a charity boxing match.
No, it was pure vanity. It was just pure vanity.
Was that his excuse at the time? That's a smart excuse.
Yeah.
But why would you do steroids for a charity boxing match?
It makes you heavy.
It's not very sportsmanlike as well.
Yeah, good point.
I'm just going to cheat in this charity boxing match because fuck it. But for charity.
Yeah, screw it. Who cares? But Caspar, this is also going on because you're not just a YouTuber and things like that. You do so many different things. You've launched your business, Influencer, right?
Yeah.
And what is now? Do you find it hard to like juggle between the two, like doing YouTube and running a business? Because I suppose they're similar, but they are also completely different, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but as I said earlier, like less is sometimes more with me. If I was always on top of everyone in the office, I think I would be counterproductive. So I like to I guess I come from a place where most people with a company like ours didn't have a chance to come from. Like I was a creator, and to be a creator on YouTube, you could only kind of start that a few years ago, like 8 years ago when I started, or a couple of years before that. So most of the companies that are similar to influencer.com, which like connects brands with creators, if you're a creator and you're listening or you're a brand, you sign up.
Francisco and sign up.
Yeah,
influencer.com, I'll check it out.
So basically, like most of the companies that are kind of similar to that, they don't have creators behind it. So it's nice and hopefully good for our creators to know that we understand when they have concerns about things, or if they're coming back on something that most people might think, why do you even care about the lighting in that particular thing, or why do you it comes from a more organic place. And like the idea behind it is to allow creators from a smaller stage to have more choice in the brands they work with, just by expanding that amount. So it's kind of it's cool.
Cool.
But that's also, I mean, that's so true. You are, and you know, we had an interview today with a publication about our tour that we're doing, and I sort of said we're pioneers, which I kind of like freak out about that the title's going to be Jamie calls himself a pioneer.
I really like that. No, that's cool.
Yeah, but you actually were you're a pioneer. You were doing YouTube before YouTube was actually a thing. So you kind of just when in terms of influencers and stuff and understanding how to work it, there's no better person than yourself in order to tell them what to do and what not to do, right?
I like to think so. I hope so, and I think that's why it's kind of grown so quickly. I just people kind of trust. They'd rather trust someone who doesn't come from didn't start in this industry just to make money. Because when we started, that wasn't a thing. So I genuinely care and like.
Yeah, it comes from a good place.
Now there obviously is money involved, but at the same time, like it's just I really do enjoy it, and I built a YouTube channel and I really enjoyed that. But it's so exciting and different to build a company. I'm sure you feel the same with Candy Kittens. Like it's completely different, and I wanted to ask you how much you're involved in every day, and how do you keep doing everything yourself?
Well, that's the thing. I think what's so important, which you've done as well, is that you can have and Francis, you probably actually Francis, you're a lot more hands-on. But he's a lot more hands-on. But in terms of, I think you have to realise what you're. That's a little police car going past. Now I quite like that. We can make like an action movie now. But it's true, right? I think they're
coming to collect Jack Maynard.
Yeah. Oh, that jungle thing really took a turn. And Ed Sheeran is hiding in your bathroom.
Sorry, yeah.
But it's so funny because I think what you have to realise, and probably this is to our audience as well who are listening, it's so important to realise what you're good at, like whether you're an entrepreneur or a businessman. And I'm not a very good businessman, but I'm quite a good entrepreneur, I'd think. And so what I did or do is I made sure that I had like a good team surrounding. Oh, hold on one second.
So we're just opening and closing the window so we no longer have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So basically I made it sure that like. You know, I surrounded myself with a good team, so they knew what they're doing because I knew what my faults were from the very beginning. So from a day to day, I see different things and do different things, but I'm not the person. And it's also tricky. And I always say this that it's always the pilot who gets all like the congratulations, but in fact it's the engine that is doing everything. And I have a whole team of people who are the engine, but they never get congratulated from the outside world. I just being the face.
You just take all the credit.
Oh, I love it as well. I drink it all day long. Yeah, and even when they ask for some, I just drink the last bit.
Sorry, you're fired. Not speak to me like that.
That's a lovely thing to say. I think, you know, it's with anything, especially in entertainment, there's so many people involved in even this right now, and like you guys are taking the credit, but just like a movie being good or a TV show, or even now it's becoming the point where YouTube is not just about the YouTuber in front of the screen. There's a big team behind it as well, and I'm lucky to have like a great team. So yeah, it is the same thing with influencer. We have a really cool team, a really dedicated team, and I like to be as hands-on as I can be right now as well because I want to learn as much as possible. But at the same time, I'm not going to like. It's important to delegate to people who know what they're doing more than you do.
But also, have you ever got to that stage? And you probably could say this or not. Have you had to fire someone yet?
Yeah.
Oh God, isn't it the worst? It's the worst.
Yeah.
Have you had to do it, Francis?
Yeah. Well, in Ghana, yeah.
Oh God, I had to do it. And I got told this, and hopefully they don't listen to us, but I'll say it anyway. So we had to fire this one person from our office, and one of the other people from our office, whenever they had this running joke, which I only found out the other day, that every single time they were called in to see my business partner and I, they would say to them as they're walking out, by the way, they're going to fire you. Anyway, so this person who we were firing, we had to call to the office to chat to us, and the person who made this joke with her, as he or she walked out, he went, oh, you're being fired. And then we fired this person and they cried straight away. And then the last conversation they ever had with that person in the office was him saying to her, oh, gave it away there. Gave it away there was, you're fired.
Whoa.
It's horrible. It's worse than a breakup, isn't it?
It's tough.
It's a great running joke for you.
yeah, in the office. You're fired.
It depends, I guess, why it's happening. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
So.
And what about relationships as well? We got it because this is private. Are you single? Are you not single?
I'm not single. I've had 3 relationships since becoming an adult, like real relationships, I guess.
Since becoming a YouTuber. I love how you dodge it. Since becoming an adult, yeah, I've had a lot more relationships since being on TV too.
And yeah, no, it's good. It's a good time.
They're getting so
I like being single too. That not just because I can, you can be, I guess, more like randomly meet someone and it's like a crazy adventure, but also you can be very selfish, and it's like the time of my life where in regards to the time spent, and there's so much I want to do right now. So just kind of the problem was always like time, and them giving me maybe more time than I was giving back, and that's just, you need the right balance. So
it is tricky, right? Because there are times when literally you do feel like you are having to please one person and having to please someone else, and then and at the same time you're just not pleasing yourself because you're trying to do your work and also have a relationship at the same time, so it's impossible, right?
Yeah, and I kind of think that there's going to be a time when I'm ready for that, and I'm like, that's going to be my life, and I want to use this time in my life to prepare for that moment, so when I'm there, I'm like set up, so I don't have to be that maybe father or husband who's never really around because I'm constantly trying to do what I didn't do when I was younger.
Or have that be that father that's not actually planned. I spoke to my buddy the other day who's had.
I thought you were going to talk about yourself.
No, I mean your buddies. I'm not.
Okay, so you haven't had that yet.
All my kids out there. I spoke to my friend. He said, "By the way, oh my God, you'll never guess who's becoming a dad." And I went, "What? From my school's becoming a dad?" And he went, "Yeah, he's so happy about it." And I went, "Well, of course he's happy about it." I was like, "Was it planned?" He goes, "No." He said, "Of course, everyone's happy about it when it's not. You can't go, fuck, I'm dreading this." Everyone's always ecstatically
this
happy.
is great.
Francis, so the answer to the question. So, Caspar, you said that it poops when it gets touched by a human.
And that's why I'm seeing a 19-year-old, because of my immaturity.
Yeah, which weirdly, when you said it, I did chuckle. To say that, get my age. And I said that it sheds a bit of its skin. So, Francis, what's the answer?
Well, the answer is that it runs away to a safe place of hiding and then washes itself.
Oh God! What, in its bath?
It cleans itself.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Only
so
if human?
If a human touches it, how weird is that?
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but that's what humans want to do when a cockroach touches them.
That's crazy.
We both get freaked out by each other.
Is it just humans?
Yeah, I think maybe actually just other animals.
Like mammals or...
Yeah, I guess maybe it's something to do with our scent or something.
Cass, have you got a fun fact you can let us know? Have you got anything at the top of your head? Like the fact that, we said this the other day, flamingos aren't pink at birth. They become pink because of the fish they eat.
Yeah, the krill.
Yeah.
Okay,
go for it.
I mean, it's nothing particularly good, but we have 11 national languages in South Africa. 11 proper languages in South Africa.
I love that.
Yeah. How many can you speak?
Official, that's what the word I was looking for. How many can I can speak 2, English and Afrikaans. By Afrikaans.
But I can speak Afrikaans. So, Alza, do you want to go for a braai? That's
not Afrikaans.
Let's go and find the Springbok. Let's go and have a braai on the plage.
So, ek kan Afrikaans praat 'n bietjie en ek is nie goed met Afrikaans, maar ja, okay.
It was the scariest thing that I went on tour to South Africa when I was 12 years old, and we played a township, which is amazing. They play in bare feet. It was unbelievable. Were you wearing boots? I wasn't wearing boots. No, I was not wearing boots. But it was unbelievable because
sounds like
you were wearing your Adidas Predators.
yeah, just stamping on their feet.
That sounds like the charity boxing thing.
Exactly.
But we won the match by one try. I kid you not, they had the opportunity to score 8 times, but every single time they went to score, they ran past the dead ball line. They ran too far. So all the players who went to score didn't know where the try line was, so they just ran past the line at the end. Yeah, it was terrible. But then the scariest thing is we played a school in Stellenbosch, is that right? We played a school in Stellenbosch.
Yes. Stellies.
What were they? Not
it's called Stellenbosch.
Bishops, maybe Bishops?
No, I'm terrible with names. It would be, there are a ton. There's...
High Oak or Highway or High something like that.
Try to think of it.
We played those guys, and the scariest thing at the beginning was they had really thick Afrikaans accents, and they were chanting at us. We're like 13 years old, and you feed them like
Engelsman. It's like Englishmen. They don't like
They're scary
because I mean they it's all very strange. Like Afrikaans and English people. There's quite. People, there's not many schools that have both. I was actually at a school where a primary school where it was Afrikaans and English speaking people in the same school, and there was like we never really hung out, but we had separate classes and everything. It's quite interesting, but yeah.
What, with Afrikaans?
Just the Afrikaans, like, it's like Afrikaans people, they're cool.
Really?
But, yeah, like they would call me like Engelsman a lot, like that's Englishman, yeah.
And you thought that meant you were friends with them, but you were like, oh God.
Exactly.
yeah. But that's actually going back, the two best things to come out of South Africa, actually, I mean, biltong. That's the thing. And lemon twist.
Lemon twist, yeah.
The drink.
Is that a South African thing? Nando's, by the way.
Yeah, it's Nando's.
And not Portuguese.
No, which is strange because that's what it's meant.
Which everyone thinks.
So it was a South African who liked Portuguese food who brought it to South Africa and then expanded. And it's it's not that successful there compared to here, even though it started there. It's become, it's the most successful apparently restaurant chain in
because of Ed Sheeran and Examples chicken sock. That's what made it, I swear to God. Caspar Lee, dude, buddy, unfortunately we've run out of time. Francis has to go and play cricket. So he has to go.
Sorry about this.
He actually does. This is no word of lie. He has to head off. Buddy, listen, you are absolutely smashing it, and you deserve every success in the world. You're not only the nicest guy, you're so talented. You've got your YouTube channel, Caspar Lee. You've got influencer, which any brands out there, well, you can say it better than me, right?
No, well, yeah. If you're a creator or a brand looking to work with creators, then head over to influencer.com. That's not why I'm doing this, by the way.
I know it's not. We like to give something back.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, because otherwise we are just rinsing you dry.
No.
All those followers get out of it.
I get friendship for an hour, so
Yeah.
that's what I get.
Well, you'll have to come back on again.
Yeah, I would
and
love
I'll
to.
send some cider your way.
Cool, definitely. I think I've got candy kittens in there, so.
Dude, I send you them the whole time.
Dude, I love them. Oh, they're bad for me. No, they're not bad for me. They're actually really healthy.
No, Caspar, they're terrible for you. Yeah. Don't worry, they're full of sugar. Yeah. Might as well be taking crack. Kidding. I'm kidding. We can edit that out. We won't. Caspar, also, like what we like to do at the end of the podcast is, as our guest, we love you to leave our listeners with something inspirational. So anything you want to say, do. It can be funny, sweet, intimidating, aggressive, non-aggressive. Something inspirational for our audience.
People don't really care about you.
Love that.
Do you know what I mean? I said that, as I said earlier.
Which is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's a really powerful point.
There's some people who hopefully care about you, but mostly people.
Only your parents, really. Not even all the time.
My mum definitely does. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I think
only your mum cares about you guys.
Yeah, only your mum cares about you. Anyway, guys, listen. Thanks for tuning in, and we shall see you next week. We frickin' love ya.
Love you guys.
I thought you were going to say with someone from Love Island.
Yeah, we got someone from Love Island coming on. No, we don't. We had Chris Hughes. That's the only person we like. Kidding. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, bye.